Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Christmas puddings and Christmas pudettes, whatever you would like to call yourselves. Welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. It is another day, and as I always say, it's another dawn. And two teams that have seen, well, new life, haven't they, over the last few months, last few weeks. However, we are tonight talking about Arsenal and West Ham United. A game that I wanted to pay close attention to, of course, the two, I was going to say Manchester teams there, the two London teams that are the closest to Chelsea, of course, even into Max as well. Just seen him in the chat. The two London teams that are closest to Chelsea in terms of the league. And, doing the best in the league. So importantly for me, trying to, keep up to date with what's going on. West Ham, last time I saw them out, drew 0-0, disappointingly. And Arsenal have been on a sort of an upwards trajectory for a little while. But Arsenal, they have a lot to talk about, don't they? They have a very, very large amount to talk about, a Redgate-Large amount to talk about, one would say. And of course, we've got to start off with a little bit of team news. Evening, Tristan. How are we doing, mate? Get your score prediction in the chat for tonight. If you haven't already, be sure to go and do that. So, what we have to talk about today, and I think the big thing we have to talk about first of all is, as you can see on your screen, we'll dive into the rest of the team first, but we have to talk about Lacazette, who is now the captain, and subsequently Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So, as we know, during the middle of last game week, so literally at the weekend last weekend, Aubameyang was not included in the team to face. Who did they face at the weekend? Can't quite remember off the top of my head. But he wasn't in the team, and we all wondered why is that. And then we found out it was disciplinary, and now we found out that he has been removed as Arsenal's captain, which does mean that two captains in a row, one of the former captains in Granit Xhaka is playing tonight, but that does mean two captains in a row, Arsenal have lost their captain due to disciplinary reasons and had it taken off them. So not good for Arsenal, not good for Arsenal. And it'd be intriguing to see if that plays into in any aspects of this game, if Arsenal look shakier, if they look more confused, or if anything just, in the background has got on with them. It's, sort of in the background caused a few problems, and doesn't seem like it will have done, considering they did get a win at the weekend. However, I still think it is something to bear in mind. I'm very good, thank you, Tristan. I really do appreciate that, and I'll get to your score prediction in a second once we've had a glance through the teams, and then I will give you my score prediction for tonight as well. As you can see, I'm dressed up all festive in my nice little Christmas pudding top. So it did actually dawn on me that this green bit might go as a green screen, but thankfully it hasn't. It's picked it up as a different green, which is all well and good. Anyway, let's have a look at the other games, because I do believe, even though I think I'm lying to you with this graphic that we have on the screen currently, I do believe it is actually 1-0 to Crystal Palace in one of the other games. And Crystal Palace 1-0 up against Southampton. Wilfried Zaha getting himself on the score sheet. So that needs updating already. So instant impact in that game. Hopefully we can have a good competitive game here, but also with a few goals. We don't want a return of what it was at the weekend for West Ham United, which was a very, very poor performance by West Ham against Burnley. Burnley, fair play to them. They know how to defend. We know they know how to defend, but a really, really poor performance at the weekend. And guys, we do have a halftime show for today. Max, I'm sure you'll be thrilled with the halftime show for today. It's higher or lower, but with Premier League assists. So even better. Let's have a look through the teams then, ladies and gents, now that we are all up to date with our graphics and everything. Thank you, Wilfried Zaha, for ruining it instantly. So let's have a talk. Let's have a look through this team. Starting in goal for Arsenal. It does look like a 4-2-3-1 for the Gunners. It looks like a 4-2-3-1. Starting off in goal will be Aaron Ramsdale. Right back will be Tomiyasu, with White and Gabriel as the centre halves, and Kieran Tierney making a return as well. A little bit harsh on the fullback who was playing before. His name's gone from my head. Tavares, is that his name? I think it's Tavares. A little bit harsh on Tavares. However, Tierney's always going to get back into the team. He's the main man, isn't he? At fullback, he's one of Arsenal's couple of star boys that they've got now, and he is the main man for them. Then moving on into defensive midfield, hopefully there'll be a party tonight with Partey starting in midfield, and then Granit Xhaka as the other defensive midfielder. Like I mentioned earlier, Granit Xhaka, the other former Arsenal captain in the reign of Mikel Arteta, to have lost his captaincy. So not just Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang doing that, not just Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And Fraser, thank you for reminding me. Happy birthday, Max. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. George, I hope you have a fantastic day. As it's your birthday, I've got to use your Christian name, George. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's have a look at the attacking front 4/3. We'll start off with Martinelli, Ødegaard, and Saka. I think we know what we're going to get from this front three really now. I think we do. Ødegaard, I think he's got 4 goals this season. Saka's got a couple of goals, couple of assists. And Martinelli as well. Starting to find a little bit of form. I think you could, and I will make the argument, that up until maybe a few weeks ago, Martinelli's only involvement in an Arsenal team for the last few years has been that goal against Chelsea, which Arsenal fans rant and rave about as if they won the game 4-0, when in reality they just drew 2-2. However, Martinelli maybe has had a little bit of a fall off since then. However, he's managed to get himself back into the team. So why not? Why not play him? He's still a good young talent, still really young. I think he's the same age as me. Maybe younger than me. I can't even remember now. I feel like some players I go, oh yeah, they're like 17 and they're now like 24. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel old. And then we also have the captain for tonight in Lacazette up front as well. So that is the team. A couple of changes for Arsenal today, and of course the big one being that Aubameyang is no longer the club captain. Whether Lacazette will take the reins from that for full time, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at the moment. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Anyway, we'll move on. That's enough talking about the red side of London. Let's talk about, well, all sides of London are blue at the moment, but let's talk about the London Stadium. And let's talk about their team in West Ham United. Fabianski is going to be starting in goal with Mazawaku on the left-hand side. I don't know how I've put him on the right there, but on the left-hand side with Diop, Dawson and Kufal as the other defenders. No changes there. I think West Ham are without 2 of their key defenders at the moment, that one being Ogbonna and, of course, my mate Kurt Zouma, who is on the thumbnail for tonight. And Rice and Souček will be starting in CDM. Again, no real surprises whatsoever there, with Manuel Lanzini, Bowen and Fornals in front of them, and Mikel Antonio on the left wing. Maybe Fornals has come in because maybe he sparked up the game a little bit in that when he did come on against Burnley. Maybe that's the decision to start him this time round rather than like last time where he was on the bench. Let's have a look through your comments, guys. Get your score predictions in now that you've heard the teams, now that you've had a little bit of a breakdown of what has gone on. Let's have a look at the comments for us. We've got 17 comments to get through. I'm sure quite a lot of them are absolute rubbish, knowing you guys. Nice Christmas jumper. Thank you, Max. I do appreciate it. And of course, happy birthday to Max. And Max, yeah, you've got to let us know what the cake is. You've got to know what the cake is today. It's officially my birthday in 2 minutes. Wow. Well, congratulations and happy birth minute to you. I might have got that exactly right on exactly the right minute. Of course, you put Zouma and even into Shah as well. Shah's going to be going with a 3-1 win to Arsenal for tonight as well. So I've got to pick mine. Fraser, you've not put yours, and I can't remember if Max put his. Sam, you are 18. I mean, I wish I was, but I'm 22 now, and it's slightly sad. Let's have a think. You see, the game against The game against Burnley has really thrown me off. Had that game against Burnley not been here, I'd have been not have happened, I'd have been absolutely certain that West Ham and Arsenal was going to be a goal fest. But after how poor West Ham were in that game, I'm inclined to back the Gunners, unfortunately, and I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Arsenal for today's, and I think it will be Saka who's going to get himself a goal, and then Laka. So we've got Saka and Laka getting themselves both goals. Shaka, Laka, Saka. Nice. The teams are going to be coming on. What has Fraser gone with? He's gone with 2-1 to West Ham as well. So we're all split in the comments. I don't think anyone's actually picked the same score for tonight. And Tristan obviously went with what was Tristan's? Tristan's was a 2-2. So Tristan's played safe. Max has gone 2-0 Arsenal. West Ham not scoring much recently. See, Max, we're on the same level, mate. We are on the same level. That is just the birthday genius. The teams are coming out. Arsenal in their god-awful training kit. That is awful. Says the man who is, currently sat in a Christmas pudding jumper. However, I can say that because, this isn't a design thing. That is awful. It's very 80s. And there is the West Ham United team for tonight, of course, led by Declan Rice as well. Another one of my favourite players at the moment, Declan Rice. Of course, I have to love him because he's best friends with Mason Mount. So why else wouldn't I? Let's just double check the lineups, which the graphic of BT Sport are going to give. Tavares on the bench, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Nicola Pepe, some of the big names on the bench for Arsenal tonight. I say big names, you know what I mean. Relatively big names. Now the Christmas jumper is well nice. I've got 3 actually. Max has got good news. What is the good news, Max? Always happy to see some good news. And let's have a look at the West Ham United bench as well, as David Moyes makes his 600th appearance as I believe it's Premier League manager, but I might be wrong on that one. With Mark Noble on the bench, Alphonse Areola, Said Benrahma, Vlasic, and Yarmolenko, some of the big names on the bench there for you as well. Nice, Max. Nice. Of course, you got Mason Mount. It was a sign that you should be a Chelsea fan instead. Yeah, the teams look like they're set up how I predicted them, with a 4-2-3-1. And of course, not how I stupidly put it with Masuaku on the right. I meant to actually put Masuaku on the left, like usual. But there we are. I'm just a bit of a div sometimes. Dare you to rip it up for a TikTok? No. The player. Sorry about that. I was just trying to work out why we are having a minute of applause. It is for the former Arsenal and England midfielder, I believe Liverpool midfielder as well, Ray Kennedy, who has sadly passed away in the last week. So I was just trying to work out what that was there. Just trying to make sure that I had all the details right before I continued. Crikey, 70 years of age, Ray Kennedy. R.I.P. Exactly, Max. Exactly. And we will be underway shortly. Like I said, there is a minute of applause at the moment. I am going to back Arsenal. Unfortunately, I am going to have to back Arsenal. Oh my God, Lanzini is tiny. How tall is Manuel Lanzini? Someone tell me how tall Manuel Lanzini is, because he looks about 4'0" there, and he was stood next to Fornells, who I thought was tiny anyway. He looked like a dwarf. Crikey, man. Some people are vertically challenged, unlike myself. Some people are vertically challenged. Let's have a look. We'll be underway soon, ladies and gents. Let's get us underway. Lacazette's just come over to do his coin toss as captain for tonight. Like I said, who knows where this Arsenal team is going to go with with their captaincy. And of course, Lucas Fabianski as well. I didn't think about that. Made 78 appearances for Arsenal. So the former Arsenal man back at a familiar ground, a familiar place for Lucas Fabianski. Maybe where he didn't have the greatest of starts. I remember in the Champions League and maybe even in the League Cup as well, in making a really, really few poor games right at the beginning of his life for Arsenal. In Arsenal? Is that what people say? There we are. We are underway. West Ham United with their away kit again today, with a kicking from right to left, and Arsenal in their usual home kit of red and white, kicking from left to right. Like I said, and like Max actually pointed out as well, be intriguing to see, how this West Ham team turns up, because they've had a good result against Chelsea and now maybe not so good result against Burnley. And I'm going to say not so good, and I'm going to be very lenient on that one. Premier League is so dead for some reason. I hate weekday kickoffs. I mean, I don't mind it. It gets you through the week, doesn't it, until the weekend. But I don't think there's that excitement when your team plays during a weekday. I don't think there's quite that excitement. And, on a Sunday where you sit and you'll be like, oh, we've got 20 minutes until kickoff. It's not really the same, because people are sort of moving their lives about. They're trying to get to and from specific places, back from work, back from school, back from the gym, to the gym, cup tea, all of that. It's all a little bit of a rush, but, it's nice to have the football here. It is nice to have the football here, but definitely the Champions League is my favourite viewing on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Although I'm not sure Max, as a Spurs fan, can tell us what the Champions League is like for a few years. So he's 5'5". Wow, that is small. I think that's shorter than Erin, actually. Fun facts for you. Here's Rice. Rolls it into Masuaku. Oh, Fabianski, the back pass there. Oh, he just dummied the ball there, and he didn't. I think he underestimated how quick Lacazette was there, and he dummied the ball, and Lacazette nearly managed to get in. Here's Kieran Tierney trying to get his legs to function properly, and just a little bit of pinball here, a little bit scrappy in the opening stages here. I think there was a little bit of nerves from Lucas Fabianski there. And I have just seen as well, Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 1. So plenty of goals going on in that game in this first half. Let's see who the goal scorer is. It's James Ward-Prowse, Captain Fantastic, has scored for Crystal Palace. Can we get some good goals tonight? That is the question. Let's update my graphic. Apologies if I feel like my energy levels seem a bit lower tonight, and I'm not quite sure why. But I do apologize if that is portrayed on the, across on the camera as well. Maybe just a long day. Here's Gabriel. Rolls it into Ben White. Tomiyasu. He's looking forward, but West Ham covering the gaps at the moment well, making sure that there's no real space there for Arsenal to find and pick out a good pass, as Martinelli has to drop in deep there to roll the ball back into Tomiyasu. Here is Erdegaard. Erdegaard's going to go for a big switch there, looking for Kieran Tierney. Easily read, though, by Kufal, who finds Bowen with the header. But Bowen gives it back away to Arsenal yet again. Poor play there from Jared Bowen. And Arsenal easily able to recover. Max is going to be right back. No worries, mate. No worries. Right, let's update that. And there we are. Here's Masuaku back into Issa Diop. Dawson. Kufal. Lovely play there by West Ham to get themselves out of their own half and now into the Arsenal half here with a throw-in, looking for Michail Antonio. Looked to go for a sharp throw in there, but Ben White stood his ground. The former Leeds United and Brighton man did really well actually there, because Mikel Antonio was just looking to get his body in the way, and as a result, you'd expect Ben White to come off worse there, but he's actually done really well and managed to win Kieran Tierney and Arsenal a throw in here. Tierney just taking his time to take this throw in. There we are. Get it on the pitch. Let's get some football going. Let's have a high tempo game. Diop being closed there by Erdegaard. Wow, that is a good fact actually. It's Diop's first Premier League minutes were against Chelsea in that win against Chelsea. Shows how little he has played so far this season for them. It absolutely has showed them how little he has played this season. But of course, due to injuries now, why not play him a little bit more? Why not? Who plays tomorrow night? Is it Chelsea and Everton? Oh, Southampton have scored again. Southampton scoring again, making it 2-1. What's happened, Cammy? I don't know. The Saints have scored. They have scored again. Let's see who the goal scorer is this time. Armando Broja, of course, another former Chelsea player. I think he's actually still at Chelsea on loan, coming up with a goal. Chelsea are inevitable. We're everywhere. We are everywhere. This is why London is blue. We can take down Crystal Palace and not even be anywhere near them. Lanzini wins a foul there. A cynical foul there from Partey. He's maybe a little bit unlucky. He has won the ball, but I just think it's a little bit clumsy, and that's the reason he has given away a foul there. So maybe a promising opposition here to get the ball, opportunity here to get the ball in and test Aaron Ramsdale early on. He's sort of turning his way into a bit of a Jordan Pickford here. And let's see who's going to take it. It is Fornals. Fornals is going to roll it instead and roll it to Kufal. And Kufal's pass has gone behind Mazuaku. And what is going on here? It looks like an awkward one. Declan Rice is going to put in a ball, looking to pull that back across. Is it going to fall to Lanzini? But it's going to fall to Dawson. Yeah, that wasn't the right idea. That was not the thing to have done. I'm not going to lie. I think from that position, you've just got to cross the ball in. I mean, they did well to then actually play the ball into a nice position so that Declan Rice could pull it back. Lanzini unselfishly then rolls it across looking for Dawson, and Dawson's not the man you want on the end of that. I tell you what, he is not the man. How does it feel that Oliver loves a Chelsea loanee? It's inevitable. Inevitable. I'm telling you now, it is inevitable. Chelsea are everywhere. We have top quality players everywhere. I'm looking forward to Conor Gallagher coming back. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he went out for another season on loan, just until maybe Jorginho is a little bit older or someone else has moved on. But I don't want anyone to move on, which is also the problem. I want to have all these good young players, but then also never lose the likes of Kante and Kovacic. I'm not overly bothered about Jorginho, but Kante and Kovacic, because I absolutely love them as footballers and I think they're absolutely awesome. Arsenal's turn to win a free kick here from a foul by Declan Rice. He's just caught the ankles there of Lacazette. Just caught the ankles. And now it's Arsenal's opportunity to get a strike on goal. Test Fabianski. We saw him earlier on, didn't we? We saw him with a little bit of a wobble. I'm not going to say a massive wobble because that would be a bit of an overstatement, but it was a little bit of a wobble for the former Arsenal keeper. He kind of misjudged where Lacazette was going to run and nearly ended up giving away the ball to Lacazette in his own penalty box and in his own 6-yard box. So it's Xhaka who's going to line up for it, which does mean it's absolutely going to be power. We know he does have a powerful strike on him, Granit Xhaka, and he can hit them right when he does hit them well. It's whether he can hit it well now. I've got flashbacks to Alex, the former Brazilian centre-half who used to play for Chelsea, who absolutely rifled one into the top corner this time. Arsenal have also set themselves up with a wall, a 3-man wall next to the four-man wall. It is Xhaka, and he's actually hit that with the instep of his foot rather than going straight over. And as a result, he smacked it straight into the wall. Smacked it straight into the wall. Oh, good stuff. Josh's stream has 53 people in it. Good stuff. Good to see. Shame I don't like Scottish football, isn't it? Shame it's rubbish football. Here's Tierney. Tierney, foul definitely there by Kufal. Kufal is saying, I don't think so, but definitely a foul there for me. And it's all kicking off a little bit. A bit of argy-bargy here going on between Lacazette, going on between Declan Rice. Let's see what goes on here. Kufal gets himself in the book, and I think someone else will get themselves in the book here. Lacazette not really showing his professionalism as a captain there. I mean, as you see that as it comes to him, Tierney tries to go past Kufal, and Kufal puts his arm across him and just clatters him. Just clatters him just there, and it does look like a painful one. Evening, Ian. How are we doing, mate? Who's been playing the best? I've just tuned in. I mean, there's not really been anyone at the moment who's dictated possession. It just seems to be very, very little sort of for the opening 10 minutes that has happened. As a result of that, I wouldn't say either team's really played the best. It's been a little bit cagey in the first few minutes, and no team's creating a clear-cut opportunity. A couple of free kicks for each team, and we do have another one of those now. So Arsenal, though, for me, I am backing them. I'm going with a 2-0 Arsenal win. So is Max. So me and Max are on the same wavelength. Let me know, Ian, what do you think this score prediction will be for today's game? Erdegaard whips it in, looking for the header. Tomiyasu cleared, though, by Kufal, and that is cleared up the field by West Ham, but it's hooked back over there by, I believe, Kieran Tierney. And Tomiyasu, Martinelli was still in there putting in a good shift, and Martinelli does give away a foul on Jared Bowen, deemed to have pushed him off the pitch there, Martinelli, the Brazilian. It was maybe a little bit clumsy, but to be honest with you, I think it was more of a shoulder-to-shoulder than anything. I think he probably would have lost the ball either way. Flicked on there by Antonio, and this time there's a hand in the face this time on Pablo Fornals. Oh gosh, the referee needs to stay consistent if he's going to give out bookings for hands in the face there. He's going to have to stay consistent. He really needs to, because otherwise he's going to cause problems for himself. Ian saying a fancy West Ham, probably to be honest, probably by 1 goal. I would have fancied West Ham, but after the performance against Burnley, I wasn't overly convinced. They didn't look like they had a plan B. That when times were getting tough, they didn't know quite what to do. They didn't look like they knew exactly what they were going to be doing. And as a result of that, that is what has swayed me off West Ham United. They didn't have a plan B. They might have had a plan B against Chelsea, but that didn't work against Burnley. And that is what has just thrown me off. And I think the form that Arsenal have been in over the last few months has been fantastic. Martinelli whips in this corner, looking for Tomiyasu at that front post again. Cleared, though, and Erdegaard picks up the ball. Tierney's going to clip one back in. And he has successfully picked out the corner flag with that one. That was an awful ball in there from Kieran Tierney. Cameras all focused on Declan Rice. How can you not focus on Declan Rice? The form that man is in. Since that Euro campaign for England, that man has gone from strength to strength. Declan Rice looks absolutely phenomenal at the moment. Definitely looks worth the valuation of 100 mil that was given. Of course, he's still 22, 23 as well. So still plenty of room to grow for Declan Rice. Diop's going to hoof one up the pitch here. Can Mikel Antonio get under that? Nope. Gabriel wins that one. Absolutely bosses him out the way there. Just typing in Josh's chat up the St. Johnston just to try and get a rise out of him. Oh, Dawson there with a dodgy touch again. Lacazette could have got onto that if he'd have been a little bit more switched on there, Arsenal's captain for tonight. But Dawson just manages to recover in time before Lacazette can get a touch on it. Oh, really hot in here tonight. I don't know why. Absolutely boiling. Probably because I got a jumper on. Clip forward there from Diop, but he's giving it away to Granit Xhaka, who gives it to Partey. Back to Xhaka. Here's Gabriel, the new addition to my fantasy football team. White finds Tomiyasu to find Erdegaard. Nearly called him Emile Smith-Rowe there, and that's a good turn there from Antonio, but there was a foul further up in the play anyway, so Saka manages to win himself a foul, so Antonio can't continue. And Wolves have just scored against Brighton as well. And Roman Saiss has made it 1-0 in that game. And there we are, the helpful nature of Max and Fraser there. We are 4 subs away from 500 subscribers. So if you haven't already, I know there's not many people in here, so I imagine it's just the regulars who are in here today. But if you haven't already, be sure to drop a subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on in this game. And of course, we've got the chat doing brilliantly to keep us up to date with everything else going on in the wider Premier League fixtures for tonight. Of course, the big talking point going into tonight's game is the fact that the Premier League teams have registered the most amount of players with COVID since, well, I was going to say since records began, but that's not really a long time, is it? That's literally a year. But since the height of the pandemic. And of course, that is following a trend as well across the UK and other countries where this Omicron, or whatever you want to call it, no crimbo virus is increasing the rates anyway. And so, you know, it's expected. Whether we should be stopping football, I don't know. I really don't know. It's going to be a difficult one to weigh up. And of course, we have now introduced what is it? We've now introduced the vaccine passports that are needed in order to go to events with more than 10,000 people in them, which, of course, is a good way of stopping. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised vaccine passports haven't come in earlier, actually, considering when I've had a look when I was in Germany, they were very, very effective and efficient over there. So I'm quite surprised that we've not used that before. However, good to see some change coming along. Anyway, we'll move away from COVID, and of course that is why the other game has been cancelled for tonight. I believe it's Watford versus Burnley that has been cancelled for tonight. West Ham have a corner here. Jared Bowen's going to take an in-swinger here from from his right wing side, whipped in there by Jared Bowen, tried to put it on the keeper. Mikel Antonio was under it there. Ramsdale just falls on the floor and cleared up the field, fortunately, by the Arsenal defenders. Ian saying, what's your opinion on African Cup of Nations tournament going ahead? With the COVID pandemic seemingly running wild, out of control throughout the continent, it seems reckless to continue, in my opinion. I had my booster yesterday and I felt like crap ever since. Chills, back pains and headaches. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with AFCON, it's like, why... If the likes of Salah, Sadio Mane, these people who live in the UK at the moment, why should they be able to go to these places and not run a risk? And of course, there is an exemption for athletes and famous people who have to do their job over there. But if the risk is that high, number one, you're literally just playing it for the sake of playing it. Because there's no fans who are going to be there. They're not going to allow too many fans in there, if any at all. I don't know what the ruling is like in African Cup of Nations. And then it becomes more about just playing it to make sure that there's a winner. And if that's how it's going to be, and if that's how it's going to show up, then there's no point in doing it. And it is disappointing, It is disappointing to lose like the African Cup of Nations and lose, because I understand that for African footballers this is as big as the Euros. But why don't we just postpone it another year or 2 years? Why don't we? It would make it so much easier. And yeah, that's my opinion. I think it seems a little bit silly to send people over there where there's more rates when there's already a high rate here. So we've got a high rate of infection and risk to giving it to them, and then they've also got a high rate to give it to us. And it seems a little bit silly as a general term. But yeah, good that you've had your booster jab though, Ian. Good to say you've had your booster jab. I mean, you might as well have it. That's the way I see it. Even if you don't believe it does work, you might as well have it on the off chance that it does work. Hey. I don't know what people do think, but that is my opinion on that. Michail Antonio has just gone down holding his face a little bit. He's just caught a bit of an elbow in the face as well from Partey, but he's given away a foul as he's done that. He's tried to get, I think he's tried to get his arm around Partey in the first place, and has only succeeded in giving himself a clattering in the face. So Michail Antonio holding his nose, but it's all love between the two players as they get themselves back onto their feet now. It definitely looks like a night where there's going to be a few hefty tackles here between Arsenal and West Ham United. Anthony Taylor is going to have his work. He's going to be paid well tonight, I tell you what, because there already seems to be a few sort of hot heads at the moment, a few people who are just a little bit on edge, just a little bit, looking like they're wanting to just put in a heavy tackle, and that's maybe not the best way to go about, especially in a London derby. Saka here rolls it into Ben White, into Gabriel. Arsenal are going to build from the back. Now the team yet to have a real clear-cut opportunity here to get me out of my seat and really to improve my attitude and my spirits about this game. Mazuaku finds Lanzini. Lanzini's going to have to come all the way back here to Issa Diop. Diop looks to clear, but it's given it away to Granit Xhaka there, who finds Partey. Can Ben White get that down? That's an awkward one for Ben White. And he's given it away to Michail Antonio here. Antonio driving into a little bit of space, and he's given that away to Kieran Tierney. But Tierney's given it back away to Dawson. Not tidy football at the moment here from either side. Keep giving the ball away. That's not how you score some goals. Mikel Arteta down on that touchline there, absolutely fuming at his Arsenal players. Shah says, I can't see there being many goals. I can't either. And Ian can't take any chances because he suffers one COPD. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. Sorry, Ian. But yeah, he can't take any chances. I mean, most people can't take any chances, let alone. I've not even been told if I'm applicable yet for a COVID booster. I don't know if I am. I don't know if I am. I swear you're supposed to get contacted about it, but who knows? Xhaka rolls it into the feet of Laka. Tries to find Saka, but it's taken off in there by Lanzini. Lanzini into Souček. Souček's had the ball taken away from him by Ødegaard. Ødegaard and Martinelli getting each other's way there. Lung disease, basically. Oh, that's not... Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, Ian. That's not a nice thing to have. I'm really sorry for you. Sorry to hear that. Oh, I need to plug in my Mac. Thank you for reminding me. Oh. Before I have problems with the stream. Oh, as I drop my microphone. We really need a CDM in the transfer window, says Shah, talking about Manchester United, of course. But here goes Antonio driving in. Good bit of strength there, and Ben White's done really well actually there. Really, really, really well played there from Ben White. He stood up Antonio there, shrugged him off, done really well. Evening football fan, how are we doing, mate? Are you coping after last night? I mean, not a good result for you last night. Sam 4 subs away. I know we are really, really close. Saka's going to whip one in here, looking for Lacazette. Oh, Xhaka was in there, but couldn't quite get it down, and it's cleared only as far as Kieran Tierney, though. And Shah, to be honest with you, I think you do need a CDM, but also I think people need to start giving Fred some credit. And I'm not just saying that because I can hear Yusuf in my ears. and ringing and telling me, oh, here we go, Saka. Oh, he tries to get through there, and he's just slipped as he's shot there. And I think Saka's hurt himself actually as he's gone to shoot there, and he's caught Masuaku at the same time. Yeah, I don't think Fred is quite as bad as people say. I do think he does give the ball away a lot, and I think he needs to improve that. But as an all round, for his work rate, for his effort, for his ethos, let's just watch this. Oh. Let's watch that again. So as Saka goes to shoot, Masuaku puts his foot in front of him. Saka obviously kicks Masuaku's foot, and there was just a thought there that it might go to VAR, but VAR is not going to have a look at all. Fred is good, but replace McSauce. He is. See, I don't think either of those two by themselves are bad footballers. But what I think the problem is, you haven't quite found the formation that works for them. I think Scott McSauce is probably a little bit better in a 3 across the midfield, maybe either side of someone playing in a single pivot, rather than maybe a bit more sort of in a Declan Rice role, maybe more so than obviously Fred. Fred's not going to be more of a box-to-box midfielder. It's a really, really weird one. And football fans says 7-0. Tell me about it. I know, man. I was streaming it last night. It just didn't look good from minute 0, did it, for Leeds United last night? It really didn't look good, and it was a long, hard night for Leeds United, and there are definitely going to be questions around the capabilities of Leeds United this season. I think it's damage limitation now, coming up to about halfway in the season. Let me know as well, guys, if you'd love to see a team of the season so far. Who has taken 4-2-3-1 is a good formation. Sorry, I'll get to that in a second, Ian. It is a good formation, but you've got to have the players to play in the formation, and I don't think they suit the formation. And that's why Chelsea don't play a 4-2-3-1, because we don't quite have the players to suit it, because Kante is not going to sit back and just, relax and chill out. Kante wants to get up the field. So then where does Kante fit into that? And that's the thing. Fred isn't big enough or strong enough to play a holding midfielder and just be a holding midfielder. And Scott McTominay loves to get on the ball and drive forward. So a really, really difficult one to weigh up, and it's all about the players and the personnel who are in that team. And sometimes when you have a more defensive-minded midfielder, for example, a Declan Rice, that can work well in a 4-2-3-1, because that allows then the other player, in this case, which is a Souček, to move forward. And I think what complements these two really nice in this 4-2-3-1 is the fact that both players are capable going forward. Lovely little nutmeg there from Saka to get past Masuaku. Is Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's going to clip one in looking for Lacazette, and that might fall to Martinelli. Martinelli looked like he was going to go for an overhead kick there, and it is cleared away that time by West Ham. But what I was saying is, what works well with the balance of these two is the fact that both players know how to attack and both players know how to defend well as well. So it doesn't matter if one of them stays and one of them goes. This might fall to Lacazette. Oh, clumsy stuff there from West Ham United in the box from Dawson. No doubts VAR will check that. Dawson and Lacazette both down in the penalty box there. Lacazette, just as he was about to fire. Let's watch this one again. Lacazette, picked up the ball, rolled it into Ødegaard, and then Martinelli was tackled. Oh, I think that's going to be a pen. I think that's going to be a pen. Lacazette shoots, and just as he's about to shoot, Dawson comes through and absolutely snaps him. He doesn't touch the ball, Dawson. It goes through his legs. I'm sure VAR will be having a long, hard look at it. For me, that was more of a penalty than the penalty that Chelsea got against Leeds United the other weekend. Max saying he'd love to see that, Sam. Nice one. Maybe I'll get one for you in the next few weeks whenever game week 18 is. 19, game week 19, that's when I'll do it, because I'll be exactly halfway through the season. I would be surprised if you get top 5. I would be, but I wouldn't be, because Arsenal. God, I've got Arsenal and Man United muddled up. Sorry, Shah. Manchester United team is more than capable. Like, yes, you're missing a defensive midfielder, but that front whatever you want to say, with Bruno, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Ronaldo, on paper is one of the best front fours in the league, if not the. I wouldn't be surprised if you finished in the top 5. Not at all. I think you need to be finishing there. It doesn't matter that you've just got a new manager in. With the quality of that team, with Cristiano Ronaldo in that team, you have to finish in the top 4, top 5. Otherwise, this season has been a failure. And Ole hasn't done that much damage. We are still very early days into this season. Here goes Saka. Saka driving inbound, rolls it into Ødegaard. Ødegaard tries to wriggle a bit of room there, but can only succeed in playing that back to Lucas Fabianski. I know it's only been 3 games, but I feel like Ralph is not the right man. Don't think he will get a contract either. I really want Zidane, but guess not, says Shard. But that's the thing. You've got to give him time. Nothing changes overnight. I remember the first 2 games under Thomas Tuchel, Chelsea looked very, very out of it. I don't think they scored for the first 2 or 3 games under Thomas Tuchel. And look what that brought them, and look what that made them become. And now we are a force as a result of that. So you've just got to bear with some of these top managers. They've got to work out who is the best player for their team. The first few games, they will be playing on solely what they've seen in training, compilation reels, all of that kind of thing from this season. That's what they'll be looking at. And so you've got to give them time, because they are pretty much an outsider being tasked with finding the best team. And whilst I can sit here nice and easily and say, oh, I know the best Chelsea team, or I know the best this team. In reality, I don't. I have an opinion on what I think it can be. Thomas Tuchel, Ralph are probably the people who are going to get the United game, the United team, the Chelsea team, whoever's team they may be managing. They're the more likely ones to be getting it right. Ralph wants to sell Pogba and Lingard. I think it's the right decision. I mean, the thing is, Pogba is the most overrated footballer in world football. He has his moments, and he has some absolutely brilliant touches and brilliant pieces of skill, Paul Pogba, but he's absolutely overrated. He is one of the most overrated players in the whole of the Premier League, and it was just the price tag that was chucked around with him. And what you've got to look at with Paul Pogba is, I remember at the beginning of the season, everyone was hyped. I think it was the game against Leeds where Manchester United absolutely battered, didn't they? They dominated. Paul Pogba got 4 assists, and people were like, oh, Pogba's got 4 assists already. He's a fantastic player. Some people don't even do that in a season. He didn't do that in a season last season. And then since then, he's got a total of 3 assists. And all of those came pretty much within the next 5 games. And then where's he been? He's literally been 11 games without a goal involvement. He's been injured. And it's like, really? This man is a man that, people are talking about as if he's the second coming of Zidane. He's not. He's Paul Pogba. He really isn't a fantastic... he's a good footballer. And for France, he has been phenomenal for France on multiple occasions. But he is just a purple patch player, Paul Pogba. That's all he is. We've not seen it until Paul Pogba proves to me that he can go a season, 2 seasons with good form. I am always going to believe that Pogba is a purple patch player. That is what I'm going to believe. Ronaldo doesn't want to play Conference Europa. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Why would Ronaldo want to go and play in the Conference League? That's what I mean. United have to finish in the top 4. Their team is too good for them not to. To be honest, Ronaldo autocorrect kicked in. To be honest, Ronaldo was signed as a shirt seller, good business, not the best player. He is just a goal hanger these days. Shame to see he was such an amazing player. And Pogba, brilliant one game, dreadful the next. Exactly. Absolutely, Max. Nail on the head. He's nothing but a purple patch player. In comes a free kick here from Bowen. Might fall to Fornells at the edge of the box. Fornells! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, Fornells. That was nearly an absolutely fantastic strike. It fell to Fornells at the edge of the box. He cut in on his right foot. and absolutely looked to curl that one into the far post. And time seemed to move so slowly as that was bending. I couldn't work out if it had beaten Ramsdale or if it was going to find the back of the net or if it was going to go miles wide. And it was a phenomenal strike there from Fornells. Maybe a bit of quality is what we need to lighten up this game a little bit, because as you can tell by the fact I'm not talking about the game, not a lot is really happening. Sam, but you look back at Alex Ferguson left, we had managers come in and out, have them time. Ole is now gone. However, I don't think we can even win any trophy. I mean, yeah, you've got to give people time, but United are turning into the brutal way of modern football, which is if a team doesn't go right, you just get rid of them. And United's ambitions, I still think, are a little bit too big for the side that Manchester United are, because United at the moment, they're a massive club, historical club, but they aren't at that level. Their front three, front four is at the level of winning Premier Leagues, but nothing else is. Harry Maguire is a very good player. Varane is a very good player when they're on their day. Bowen's going to cut in on his left foot here, looking to shoot. Very good on their day. But the problem is with Manchester United, and like this season, the catalyst of their downfall was always going to be Ole. He was out of his depth. He's been out of his depth for the past 2 years. He was not a manager you should have been giving time. His CV was a Cardiff City relegation. He is not a manager you needed to be giving time. However, someone like Ralph will be someone, because he is a manager who knows what he's doing, and of course he's signed as, I can't remember what the phrase is, like an associate or something like that, who's going to be at your club for 2 years. And the impact that he's going to have at the minute might not be massive. It might just be something to take him over. But I do think he's on a 6 months permanent contract, temporary contract, sorry, not permanent. And that is, obviously, that's always going to be a problem. And like Ian says, Maguire always has a mistake in him. He does. That is the problem. That's the problem with England's defenders at the moment as well. John Stones always has a mistake in him. Walker always has a mistake in him. And Maguire, of course, as Ian says, rightfully so, always has a mistake in him. And United are United think they are a huge, huge club. They are. They're a huge historical club. But over the last few seasons, the expectation and the sights that have been set for Manchester United have been too high. And as a result of that, they've let go good managers and managers that potentially could have been working their way through. This might fall to Lanzini on the edge of the box here. He's going to roll it to Masuaku. Poor effort from Masuaku. But over the years, these might have been managers like Jose Mourinho, born and bred winner. He made you finish second, but that isn't good enough because Manchester United want first. That isn't Jose Mourinho's fault. Jose Mourinho has done what he can with a team that is underperforming, with an ethos that is awful, with owners that most of the fans don't like or dislike massively, and with fans that, I'd like to point this one out, Manchester United fans, you turned your back on David De Gea like that as soon as Dean Henderson came into form. Now where are you all, now that David De Gea is in form? You're like, oh yeah, David, we never doubted you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You can have questions around him. Like, I can moan about Mendy. I can. But what Manchester United fans did at the back end of last season was sit there and pin everything on David De Gea and say, oh, Dean Henderson, he needs to be in. He needs to be in. He's not had a sniff this season. And that is because the true talent of David De Gea has shown through. But it also shows the expectations that Manchester United have and Manchester United fans have on their team. They're stuck 10 years ago. That's what Manchester United are. They're stuck 10 years ago. They have fallen into the trap of being the exact same team that they vowed never to be. They used to laugh at Liverpool. Oh, you've not won it for 15 years. Oh, you've not won it for 20 years. Oh, you've not won it for 30 years. United are slowly but surely becoming that team and going, oh, yeah, we won it 10 years ago. You're now at the end of that cycle where that is impressive. You are now at the end of that cycle. And United have to do something because otherwise they are going to be like Liverpool. David De Gea literally has been saving us the past 2 months. We can barely win against Norwich. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Like, everyone is absolutely sucking up to him now. And as soon as he went into a bit of bad form, it was like he didn't exist. And no wonder managers and players and whoever it may be don't last long at Manchester United when their fans, their pundits, whoever it may be, are so fickle. Lovely play from Arsenal there. That might find Xhaka in the box, and it's a good block by Dawson. Lovely fast interchanging football. Oh my gosh, what a strike. This is from Tierney from about 30 yards out. Rattles the bar. Fabianski absolutely beaten. Absolutely beaten there, Lucas Fabianski. Lacazette trying to wriggle a bit of room. And Souček can only do in clearing it behind for a corner. Really desperately unlucky. Good play there from Arsenal. Good feet from Saka to dribble his way through. Lovely 1-2 there with Ødegaard. Rolled it back to Xhaka, and Dawson got himself in the way. And then what a thunderous strike that was from Kieran Tierney. Good save, actually, from Fabianski to put it on the bar. Let's have a look at this corner before I go back to your comments. Saka whips it in. Saka whips it in, not Xhaka. Whips it in, cleared out, though, by West Ham. And Ben White, is he going to be able to get the ball forward again? He is, yes. He goes to Xhaka. Xhaka does really well, gets past Lanzini with ease there. Oh, but good defending there. I nearly called him Granit Xhaka then. I keep getting people's names muddled up now. I shouldn't have put the Xhaka Laka Saka thing in my head, and now I'm getting myself confused. Classic. Let's have a look. Ian says, do you think the Glazers will ever sell up? I hope not myself. Well, of course you think that, Ian, as a Liverpool fan, of course. Glazers most of the problem, but I also think it's mentality, man. Glazers are a problem for them. But I also think it's mentality. You cannot pin everything on one man. You can't. It's like with Newcastle. You can't. Newcastle is completely different to absolutely everyone. But even still, you can't pin it on one person. I'm pretty certain if Steve Bruce was given a better life at Newcastle, there would have been better performances at Newcastle. And you cannot pin it all on one person. And so maybe with Mike Ashley, probably can, because Mike Ashley doesn't seem to be, and from my experience in the media, doesn't seem to be a fantastic person at all. Seems to be a very self-absorbed person, which is part of the reason why Newcastle fans hated him. But like in United and like in Newcastle, you can't pin it all on one person. There is still something else going wrong. Whether players are then not playing for the manager or the owner because they're there, that is their lack of professionality. It doesn't matter who it is. If you don't like your boss, you have to suck it up. That's how it works in the world. It doesn't work like that in football. And how many other big companies and stuff like that do you often see, very small people who have very little influence all of a sudden go, yeah, we don't want the boss, we don't like the boss anymore, and the boss gets kicked out? It doesn't really happen. Or someone higher than the boss, like a chairman or a CEO. Doesn't happen. But footballers are so privileged and lucky, they think they can spit their dummies out whenever. Really well won back there from Martinelli. Not really a lot has happened in the last sort of 10 minutes or so. It's been a little bit of a slow game other than that Xhaka and Tierney opportunity. Here is Saka here. Rolls it back into Tomiyasu, into Partey. Partey's going to drop his shoulder there nicely and rolled in from Tomiyasu in towards Martinelli and defended nicely there by West Ham. And here goes Antonio. Antonio might be able to counter-attack here with Mikel Antonio. He's tried to cross in a ball there and he's clearly lost his crossing ability. We've got better players such as Ronaldo and Sancho. We're still having problems, although we've got a new manager and new players. That's always going to happen, though. There's always going to be teething problems. Always going to be teething problems. Yes, the Glazers are a problem, but not everything boils down to one person. Lacazette's going to shoot. Oh, good save. Martinelli. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it on the follow-up. Really well done there by Fabianski. Lacazette shot from about 20 yards out. The first save, maybe he should have kept it and gathered it properly. But he done so well to get up there and smother Martinelli's follow-up. I think it's actually Dawson who gets in there again. Another key tackle there for Dawson, who's managed to get his way. I think it is Dawson, isn't it? It is. It's a really good piece of defending there from Dawson. Yeah, but like I say, Shard, that's the thing. The Glazers have been in power for so long, and you've had him under Sir Alex. And yes, there were still people protesting about the Glazers, but no one cared because you were winning stuff. That's exactly what I mean. Yes, Sir Alex is a phenomenon. He is one of the best managers to ever exist. But it does show that it isn't all down to one person. It never is all down to one person, because there is so many working parts and moving parts in a football club. And just at any club, at Chelsea, there's so many moving parts. Like you listen to all of the, like the people who go into transfers and stuff like that. Frank Lampard having to talk to players, Roman Abramovich talking to players, that Marina, whatever her last name, Sky, something like that is. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But there's so much that goes into a football club, and it's not as simple as pinning it on that. And that's why I think United, with their managers, they have to be more persistent with them over the course of the next season or so. Evening, Ali. How are we doing, mate? How are we doing? You've not missed much in this game. You've really not missed much in this game. Mazuaki's going to whip one in. A minute of added time at the end of the first half here. Shah, to be fair, if you want to win the trophy, you need to beat all the. What does that say? I can't even see what that says. I couldn't see if it said corners there. But anyway, that is half time. After a pretty lackluster first half, a pretty quiet first half, a few big controversial decisions, though, in terms of potential fouls, yellow cards, a bit of argy-bargy as well. So, other than that, though, Craig Dawson, probably the man of the match so far. Lacazette, not a bad performance, but it has been a little bit quiet in terms of key actions and key shot-creating actions and goals. I can imagine the expected goals from either side here to be very, very low. But never fear, because we do have a halftime show. We can't do much if we're getting beaten by small clubs like Liverpool and Chelsea, and that can... Hang on, did you just fire at Liverpool and Chelsea there, Shah? Is that what you're doing? Why have you done that? Anyway, let's move on to the halftime game. And today we are going to be doing higher or lower, but Premier League Assists edition. If you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel, let me explain higher or lower to you. So I am going to give you an option, and we'll give you a demonstration. The first one is Cesc Fabregas or David Silva. So Cesc Fabregas has 111 Premier League assists. Does David Silva have a higher number of assists or a lower number of assists? All you have to put in the chat is, well, to make it completely easy, because I know what Shah's like and he always manages to make it bad, just put David Silva higher or lower, depending on which one you think. So if you think he's got more assists, David Silva higher. If you think he's got less assists, David Silva lower. So that is the essence of the game. That is your first question for you as well. So make sure you get in the chat. Let me know, is David Silva higher or lower as the Spider-Man? I'm so excited for Spider-Man. I've not seen it yet, so please, no spoilers, anyone whatsoever. But yeah, David Silva, higher or lower number of Premier League assists? Let's have a look. Aaron is going with higher. What do you think Chelsea's score is going to be, and Liverpool score as well? Chelsea are playing Everton tomorrow night. I think it is going to be 2-2. And Liverpool have Newcastle. And just because I've seen Aaron in the chat, I reckon it's going to be 5-1 to Liverpool. Tristan's going lower. Ian's going lower. Ali's going lower. Venuk's going lower. And I do love Cesc. And higher for Silva, and Max going higher as well. I need to see it, so no spoilers. And no spoilers, but Spider-Man is unreal. I've heard it's unreal. Looking forward to it. Is Rafa back at the bridge? People often forget that. People do often forget that. Anyway, let's have a look. So you guys, Tristan's gone lower. Max and Aaron are on their lonesome, and they are going higher. And then Venuk, evening to Venuk as well. I totally forgot he just joined there. Evening Venuk. And Shah and Ali and Ian are all going lower. So the first one is Cesc Fabregas with 111 assists. And I can reveal to you that Cesc Fabregas has the second highest number of Premier League assists. Bonus marks if anyone can tell me who has the most Premier League assists. But it isn't David Silva. David Silva has 93 Premier League assists. So congratulations to those who have got it right in the first round. And Shah's going for his dinner. It's nearly 9, Shah. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? So yeah, let me know as well. Who do you think has the most Premier League assists? I feel like it's an obvious one. I feel like Aaron will get it instantly. That's not because it's a Newcastle player, but because I feel like Aaron will have watched a lot more Premier League football than all the rest of us. Because Aaron is such a big football fan, and not because he's 10 years older than me. No, nothing like that. Next one, David Silva or Christian Eriksen. Does Eriksen have a higher or lower number? Higher or lower? Can't believe I got it wrong. I usually go for the retro option, lol. Yeah, you did get it wrong. You did get that one wrong. Higher or lower, Christian Eriksen, ladies and gents. Higher or lower, who do you think has the more Premier League assists? Max saying, I wish it was Eriksen, but it must be Silva. I also looked as well, just whilst we were talking about Cesc Fabregas. Cesc Fabregas, when he was at Arsenal, scored 15 goals one season. That is mental from a central midfielder. Absolutely mental. What a player he was. Silva higher, says Active Aaron. He's sticking with Silva higher this time. Lower, so Christian Eriksen lower for Aaron. Christian Eriksen lower for Venuk, lower. Higher, says Ali. Ali's going with Christian Eriksen higher, and Tristan going lower as well. I can't think who number one could be. Really, Aaron? Really? Who is the man to have won the most Premier League titles in the history of the Premier League? Mainly because he played in the most of them. He also has the most, is it the most or the second most Premier League appearances as well? He has over 650 Premier League appearances. It is just more down to the sheer amount of games that he played as a winger. And for Wales, Scholes. No, Ian, not Scholes. You definitely did hear me just say Welsh as well and then put Scholes, but that just made me laugh so much. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's find out. No, it's not Aguero. Moving on. Christian Eriksen, I can reveal to you, ladies and gents, has 62 Premier League assists, which brings us on to our next one. Eden Hazard versus Christian Eriksen. Eden Hazard higher or lower, ladies and gents, in terms of Premier League assists. Of course, this was a massive debate for quite a long time, wasn't it? Who was the better player? Christian Eriksen, Eden Hazard, David Silva, Cesc Fabregas, all of these players kicking around in the Premier League for a long time. And intriguing to see who you guys think got more assists out of Christian Eriksen and Eden Hazard. Let us know who is higher or lower. No, it's not Gareth Bale. I didn't think it would be Giggs. I didn't think he got that many assists. No, but you've got Giggs played 356 games though. So when you boil it down like that, it's just an assist one every 3 games. And is that good a record? It's probably not that good a record, is it really? Not even every 3 games, maybe even every 4 games at times. So, yeah, there we are. No, I put Scholes before you said Welsh. I thought you did, Ian. Hazard higher, Eriksen higher. Oh, Tristan and Aaron going against each other. Hazard was battling with Ryan Fraser for assists. He was. You're showing your youth there, though. Showing your youth there, Max. Bale overhead kick versus Liverpool, or Ronaldo overhead kick versus Juventus. Ronaldo won versus Juventus. Bale's one hit him on the shin pad. Is it Rooney? No, it's Ryan Giggs, Tristan. It's Ryan Giggs. I can't believe people think that Salah is better than Hazard in prime. Ooh, I don't like that comparison whatsoever, because it's like comparing your right foot with your left knee. They're not the same whatsoever. They might be roughly in the same area, i.e. the lower part of your body, but they're not the same player. They're really not the same player. Anyway, back to higher or lower, ladies and gents. Hazard, higher or lower assists? Higher or lower assists? I can't decide, so I'll back my fave. Eriksen. Salah is the best, said Ian. Ian, that's not helping. Has Ian already put his answer? Hazard, lower. So let us know as well, guys, after this third round. Let us know how many you've got correct and how many you've got wrong. Evening, Nottingham Forest Cats. How are we doing tonight? And Ali is going lower as well. Tristan going higher. So I can reveal to you, ladies and gents, that Christian Eriksen had 62. Of course, we knew that. But Eden Hazard had 54 Premier League assists for Eden Hazard. So Christian Eriksen does beat him on that stat. So I think actually, was Eriksen in the Premier League for less time? Is that correct? We would have to have a look at the Premier League appearances as well. But of course, Eden Hazard did have that wobbly season in there. Which is probably what has hindered him, because it's a matter of 8 assists, and you'd imagine that would be probably one season's worth for Eden Hazard. Salah versus Hazard debate is 100% happening on TikTok. That's going to be get me some bites. Exactly. I'm good, thank you, Nottingham Forest Cats. Great to see you back. I really do appreciate it. Let me know as well, guys, what score you are on so far. Has anyone got 3 out of 3 correct so far? But Mesut Ozil, higher or lower? Hazard, says Aaron, so he's going with Mesut Ozil lower. I think Ozil had 1 or 2 really good seasons, but fizzled out fast. I mean, the thing is, when you look at Mesut Ozil, he got that season, and it was like halfway through, he was on 18 assists. And then he finished the season with 18 assists. And that shows like the caliber of player he was working at, that, on their day, they were fantastic footballers. But as soon as things didn't go right, they really didn't go right. Tristan's got 2 out of 3 so far. Not a bad start, Tristan. We've got a couple more to come. So higher or lower, ladies and gents? Higher or lower? Because I've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin on my screen. 3 different versions of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, depending on his shave style for Braun. Balotelli, says Hassan. Close. Max is going with Ozil, which doesn't really help, because I don't know if you're going Ozil higher or lower there. Ian's going Ozil lower. Tristan saying Ozil higher. I'm not sure if football evolved fast and that creative 10 became less and less effective. Yeah, I mean, maybe so, because you look at sort of the demise of people like even Juan Mata as well. He dropped off quite a lot. Oscar obviously went over to China, but that was a money move, wasn't it? And yeah, maybe so. Maybe that is the reason they've had to be able to adapt to either become a central midfielder or a winger or a striker. So maybe you're right on that one. And Ali is going, I'm assuming he's going with Ozil higher, and Max is going with Ozil higher as well. And Max is on 2 out of 3 as well. So him and Tristan topping up the top of the leaderboard. Remember Okazaki. How could I forget Okazaki? So we'll move on to the next one. And so Eden Hazard was on 54 Premier League assists. Could still potentially be on 54 Premier League assists. Maybe could top a few up if Aaron gets his way. But Mesut Ozil, I can reveal to you, was on 54 Premier League assists. I've caught you out, ladies and gents. I have caught you out. They were even. Both players were even. So that means you all dropped some points. You got to get up pretty early to get by me, folks. You got to get up pretty early to get by me. You really have. You really, really have. Right. Let's see who has got the more assists then. Out of, I need to check my screen. Who was it? It was Mesut Ozil and Theo Walcott. And I've caught you all out a little bit there, so I do apologise. Let's have a look. Let me update my timer as well whilst I'm doing that. Go back down to 45 minutes. Can someone let me know as well what the scores of the other two games are? There we are, we're sorted. Still 0-0 in this one, of course. I think it's still 1-0 in the other game as well. Let me know, guys. Who's got more assists? Who has got more assists? Mesut Ozil or Theo Walcott? What do you reckon? Just exporting the new thingamajig, the new banner on here, and then I will get it sorted. And we'll be all up to date and ready for the second half to get ourselves underway as well. Right, let's have a look. Comments. We have got Remember Hulk. Of course I remember Hulk. Ozil higher. Laughing, yeah. If I said even, you would have think I was cheating. I'll count that as a point, says Tristan. You cheated as the only options you gave us were higher and low. You've got to know the rules of the game, Ian. You've got to know the rules of the game. Every time I've pointed out that there is an even in this game, everyone's gone, well, the final one's going to be even. And today I didn't say it because I wanted you guys to see if you could remember, and you didn't. You didn't. So there you are. Learn from your mistakes, ladies and gents. The Arsenal team's coming back out. I want to say Ozil higher, but I'm going to say Theo higher because of longevity. That's a good shout there, actually. Good shout. Remember Hulk, Theo Walcott, Matt Letizia must be up near the top. I don't think he is, actually. Theo May Letizia. Is that his sister, Ian? It's called higher or lower, not higher, equal or lower. Yeah, but that's not catchy. That's why, Max. Max, just because it's your birthday doesn't mean you can have an attitude. Felt like your dad there. George. Do you want me to call you that? George. Anyway, what are we going with? Ozil or Walcott? Higher or lower? What are we saying? The football's just about to get underway here for the second half as well. I'll restart the timer and then I will update the graphic on the screen for us, and then we'll be all up to date. There we are. We are underway. Erdegaard's got us kicked off for the second half. Let's update this real quick, and then I will reveal to you. All right, let's see. That one. That's what I want. And I'll reveal to you who is higher or lower or even. By the way, as it's not my birthday, I'm not called George. Yeah, I'm still not buying this now. Ozil higher Ozil. And I can tell you, now, ladies and gents, I've caught you out once again because Theo Walcott has 54 assists. So it was even again. Who'd have thought that Eden Hazard, Mesut Ozil, and Theo Walcott were on the same number of Premier League assists? Oh, what a time to be alive, eh? What a time to be alive. That's the final one there as well, if anyone wants to do that. But I'm really pleased with myself for that one. I'm really pleased. What? Oh, Sam again. I know. Oh, I'm so pleased with myself. So pleased with myself. Ali's saying extra point. You're not getting extra points again. You're not getting extra points. I warned you about that one. There is the final one. What do we reckon? Whilst we wait for Fabianski to get us back underway from the goal kick here, let us know. Juan Mata, higher or lower against Theo Walcott? Higher or lower? What are we saying, ladies and gents? Theo versus Mata. I'm saying even again, lol. Why would I do 3 in a row, Aaron? Why would that even be funny? Antonio gives away a foul there. I'm just going to refresh my stream just because it did this last night, BT Sport. When it gets into the second half, it starts lagging and glitching, and it's really, really not fun. Matter higher. Ali's got to go. See you later, Ali. Thank you for stopping by, mate. Max is going equal, and Tristan is going matter higher. Is anyone else still in the chat? I know a few people have dropped off by the looks of the numbers, but thank you to whoever has stopped by during the halftime show. Hopefully that was a good bit of a laugh. I had a laugh, which is the important part. And Palace game is 2-2. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for keeping me up to date as Martinelli runs through. Martinelli, 1-0. Easy as you like from Martinelli. It was a lovely ball to set him through, and Martinelli, calm as you like, across the goalkeeper. What a lovely, lovely finish there by Martinelli. What a great finish. A brilliant, brilliant finish. Done so well to get himself through. Ian's keeping us up to date with the Crystal Palace game, and Arsenal find themselves 1-0 up. What a lovely, lovely goal that was from Arsenal. A great finish. Let's watch it again. Gabriel rolls it into Lacazette. Lacazette does really well, just holds the ball up and lets Martinelli use his legs and spread out his legs and just, he just runs. He just runs and runs. Just puts it in that bottom corner. A lovely, tidy finish, and that's more what we're accustomed to seeing from Martinelli, or what we have been before, but maybe not had the form at the moment. But a really, really nice finish there from Gabriel Martinelli. And that will be 1-0 to Arsenal. So a much, much better start to the second half. Much better start to the second half. I will update the banner, and then I will tell you if you got the final one right of the game. Where is it? I think I had two more, actually. I think I had two more in the game, but apparently you guys took too long tonight. So you're going to be stuck with one. There we are. Update that. Yeah, there we are. And I just need to update the bit at the bottom. And see you later, Ali. See you later. And let's have a look. Matter higher is what Shah is going to go with. Let me just update the bottom banner, and then I will reveal to you who is higher or lower. There we are. Martinelli. What minute was that? 48 we're going to go with. Be generous. We'll say it was 2 minutes ago. And I can reveal to you, as Tristan says, it was Matter higher once again. Juan Mata was also 154. Oh, God, I am too funny. I wish everyone else found me as funny as I find myself, because I honestly find myself hilarious. Here's Danny trying to pull one back, but I only can find the hands of Fabianski. Oh, God, we're going to leave the Paul Scholes one. You can see where that one was going as well. Oh, God. I'm sulking, so stop playing. Oh, Matter. Arsenal youngsters coming of age this season. Yes, they are. Equal. Yes. No, says Tristan. I got the point. Man, good choice by me, says he. Ian sat sulking. Was everyone equal? Alex Shah, you're going to have to look back through it because I was in stitches. But Aiden Hazard, Mesut Ozil, Theo Walcott, and Juan Mata all had the same number of Premier League assists. And Tristan's still taking the points. Classic. Well, I enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as me. Rolling into Xhaka here. Xhaka's going to try and get a shot off. Good block there by Dawson. I don't know why Xhaka's appealing for a handball there. It looked like a really good block with his legs. Max, you did get it, and so did Aaron. They called my bluff on that one. But I was having way too much fun there. Way too much fun. Here you go, West Ham with Declan Rice, supported by Lanzini, Pablo Fornal, who finds Lanzini. Lanzini trying to wriggle a bit of room here, looking for Souček. Souček's got in the way of the referee there. He's going to clip one out on this right-hand side to Soufal. Soufal drops it into Bowen. Bowen's going to pull one back. Oh, there's no one in the box there for Arsenal, and that's easily headed clear by Xhaka there. Really easily headed clear. Yeah, lol. I honestly, I found too much fun out of that. I literally said to my parents as I was creating the game, I was like, I'm just going to put like 4 in a row even and see if anyone picks up on the fact that they're going to be even. And I didn't want to say higher or lower or even, because every time I say that, everyone goes, oh, well, it's clearly even. And it's like I give it away and I'm like, no, well, it's actually not. But there we are. I was hoping someone would use some initiative, but clearly it took 2 rounds for Aaron to get. Oh my gosh, they've given the ball away here on the edge of the box. Bowen, oh, good save there. It was a little bit too dramatic there from Aaron Ramsdale. Not sure it needed to be that dramatic. He could have saved it a little bit easier. What does WEP Arsenal scored even mean, Fraser? But Martinelli scored for Arsenal. If that is what you were meaning, I don't know what the word WEP means. I don't know if this is something that the kids use nowadays. Here comes in the corner, flicked on by Declan Rice. Is Antonio going to get onto that? He's shaped as if he was going to go for an overhead kick there, but it's gone out the other end for a Arsenal goal kick. Declan Rice just trying to get his team motivated a little bit more here. I don't think he's pleased with what he's seen from his team so far. Of course, going 1-0 down that early in the second half, won't have been in the game plan of David Moyes. But he wants to see a little bit more, and I can't blame him because it is a little bit quiet. Antonio was offside there anyway, had he got onto the end of that corner, which was flicked on by Declan Rice. But yeah, positive attitude. Dub, says Aaron. Exactly. Big dub. It's amazing how the word W, like the lets people going, oh yeah, that's a win, has gone, oh, that's a W. And then it's all of a sudden become dub, and people just put dub now, and it literally makes no sense whatsoever. Here goes Saka. Saka somehow manages to clip one up in the air, trying to find Lacazette. Saka crosses it again, looking there for Martinelli, that time arriving at the back post, but couldn't quite get on it there, Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli, though, picks up the ball, stops it from going out, rolls it into Tierney. Tierney has to come back though to Gabriel, and Gabriel's done quite well actually there to evade his man in Mikel Antonio and roll it onto Ben White. Oh my gosh, run out of air there. I was talking too quick. Arsenal finally on a negative goal, on a 0 goal difference, about to go a positive goal difference, which shows you really how many goals have been in the Premier League this season that have been conceded by teams, and you know how many of the big teams, i.e. the top 3, have absolutely battered their teams when they've played. Of course, they did lose, 2-0 to Chelsea, Arsenal did, 3-0 on the opening day, 2-0 to Brentford. So even before they really started their season, they were already 8 goals down sort of thing. So no real surprises there. And Max is keeping us up to date with whatever Haaland's doing, so even better. Who do you guys support? I can tell you exactly who everyone supports. Shah supports Man United. Fraser supports Liverpool. Aaron supports Newcastle for some weird reason. And Max supports Spurs, so don't talk to him. And Gabriel there put a bit of a poor back pass there and put his goalkeeper in trouble there. And Mikel Antonio had a right to get to that. He did have a right to get to that. And Aaron Ramsdale, I can't put my finger on Aaron Ramsdale. Guys, let me know in the chat. Do you like Aaron Ramsdale? Because I can't get my finger around it. At first, I thought it amused me for a little while. I thought it was quite funny. Like the way he is, the way he's almost overconfident and almost a bit Jordan Pickford-esque. But I think where Jordan Pickford draws the line and Aaron Ramsdale now isn't, is that over-the-top nature, and it's becoming too much part of his personality, and it's what his football is about, rather than it actually being about being a good goalkeeper. Like the other day when he celebrated, and it was just a random Premier League game when they were 3-0 up. Like, yes, celebrate, cheer, go, yes, get in. But don't slide on your knees and act like he's just won you the World Cup. Like, it's becoming a bit arrogant now, and I'm getting tired of it very quickly. Saka with a lovely ball there into Laka. Laka definitely fouled there by Dawson, in my opinion. And the referee, has he given it? He has given it. Yeah, he has finally given it. Dawson's getting himself into a little bit of trouble now, though. He's given away quite a few fouls on that front 3. And yes, Ian is a Liverpool fan. I haven't seen enough of him, but his distribution makes a difference. Yeah, it does, but I think he's getting really arrogant, and it's wearing really thin on me already. And like a few weeks ago, you saw me, I can't remember what game it was. it might have been Arsenal versus Leicester when I was joined by Fahan for that stream. And yeah, in that game, he was sort of, he was playing it quite well and obviously winding up the opposition and then gave his shirt away at the end. So overall, it came across quite nice and it was just, part of the act. But now it just seems a bit of arrogance from Aaron Ramsdale, and I'm not too keen on it. It wears thin really quickly, I think. And unless you're a top goalkeeper, then it's never really gonna work. You've got to have the ability to back up the arrogance. Hence why, like someone like Ronaldo, who is maybe someone who people chuck the word arrogant around with, it works because he has the performance to back it up. Erdegaard's going to take this free kick, goes through the wall though into the hands of Lucas Fabianski. Could have caught him out there if he wasn't on his feet there, the Polish goalkeeper. Yeah, but Ramsdale, a bit of a hothead, and he reminds me of Pickford, the way he shouts at defenders, and he literally joined in with the chance. Yeah, that's what I mean. That is what I mean. Like with Pickford, I think he's now, obviously Pickford, every time Pickford plays Newcastle, he literally cannot play against Newcastle because he's that much of a Sunderland sort of through and through player. But that is the problem with Jordan Pickford, and that is almost part of the problem as well with Aaron Ramsdale, that you need to know where to cut it off. And Martinelli gets himself in the book there for impeding with Fabianski as he tried to clear it. Antonio flicks one on forward there, looking for Souček, but Arsenal regain possession with Partey. Here's Lacazette. Lacazette does really well to get away from Dawson there. There we are. He's into a little bit of space here. Lacazette goes to Martinelli. He's got Lacazette joining him, and he's also got Erdegaard and Saka up there. Tries to go to the byline, looking to pull one back. Ends up going to Souček. Here's Lacazette again. Lacazette clips it in towards Martinelli. Martinelli back to Lacazette. Lacazette, what can he do with it here? Rolls it back into Erdegaard. Erdegaard, can he shape to shoot? He's trying to find room on that left foot. Falls to Martinelli. Martinelli tries to finesse it, blocked and cleared out by West Ham United, and West Ham somehow managed to win themselves a throw-in. I think Hart had a similar kind of attitude. Yeah, I think Hart did, but the problem is, I think Hart did in patches, but he didn't show it as much on the pitch. Whereas these two, they really show it on the pitch, and I can put up with Jordan Pickford because Pickford is at a level where it's like, actually, he's a good keeper. Like, he's undoubted he's a good keeper. He's maybe not a world-class keeper, but he is a good keeper. Whereas Ramsdale's still finding his feet. He's still a young man and still not proven. And this is like the really only good sort of patch of form he's had. Like, yes, he played well when he was at Sheffield and whoever he was at the season before, Bournemouth, I think it was, when he got relegated. But like, you've been relegated twice, mate. You don't have the authority to be acting as if you're the God's second creation of Gordon Banks. Like, you just don't. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Pickford only has small arms, never England's number one. I mean, I prefer him over the other two keepers. Jordan Pickford. I think Jordan Pickford, he brings a new level when it comes to England. The criticism is always around his performances for Everton, but I think when he comes to England, he knows what he's got to do, and he's an absolute professional for England most of the time. Antonio there trying to break inside, but disrupted the play again by Arsenal, and Arsenal look really defensively compact at the moment. West Ham struggling to break them down and get on the ball and really move the ball fast in sort of tight areas as well, which is causing them a lot of problems, and maybe the same problems that they were facing against Burnley. A bit of pinball in the box there as a cross came in, bounced off the head of Tomiyasu and then onto Partey, and then ricocheted and bounced around. But Arsenal managed to get it clear now with Lacazette. Lacazette playing pretty well so far today. The captain, even if he has had a little bit of a attitude and a bit of an argument with Declan Rice. Saka trying to find himself some room there. Look to clip that one in towards Lacazette. It's going to fall at the edge of the box. The Partey blocked there by Dawson. Xhaka finds Laka there, and Lacazette couldn't quite do enough there. And Dawson really holding this West Ham United defence together at the moment, putting his heart on the line for the West Ham United team. And appeals for a handball? No way. Not for me. is Schmeichel naturalized English because I like him. Good attitude. I mean, the thing is, I think up until with Kasper Schmeichel, I think he said it's Peter Schmeichel then. With Kasper Schmeichel, I loved him. I thought he was an awesome goalkeeper. He was a really good professional, and it was good to see the fact that he's had to, despite his dad being famous, he has not got where he is today because of his dad. He's taken the guidance of his dad, but he's been a different player. He's gone down a different career. He's gone down a different route. Sufal trying to whip in a ball here, finds Antonio. Antonio, can he turn and cross one in himself? Cleared by Gabriel. But my problem is now with Schmeichel, it was that comment that really irritated me about when Schmeichel at the semi-finals of the Euros in the press conference before being like, "Oh, the English talk about it coming home, but when has it ever really come home?" As if his team didn't shithouse their way to winning the whatever Euros by like exposing the back pass rule. And it's like, yes, okay, you won that. We've won a World Cup, which is bigger. And yes, we haven't won the Euros, but like you have no leg to stand on. That's like cheating, and that's like cheating and winning a race, and like going into the Paralympics, winning a race, even though you're able-bodied, and going, "Oh yeah, but you've never won anything." So it's like bonkers to me. It really is bonkers to me, like how Schmeichel could even say that because he literally knows that everyone who watched the Euros knows that they exploited that rule, and they are the reason that that rule has now come in, that you can't just pass it back to your keeper and then pick it up because that's all they did. Declan Rice trying to take a shot there. Lol, Sam, that interview wasn't serious. I think he was just bantering. He wasn't. He wasn't. I've seen the clip. I don't think he was. I don't think he was. It came across really, really arrogant. Like he was just bantering us, but he came across arrogant and it came across awfully because it's the English saying, isn't it? And Kasper Schmeichel knows that more than anything. It's coming home isn't about football, particularly coming home. It's about England having belief, and that's what it's turned into. Mikel Antonio here, he's gone out onto this right-hand side, put it into Bowen, and Bowen should have maybe done a little bit better there. When we are talking about top-level Prem standard players, any athlete needs to have that belief that they are the best. Everyone shows it in a different ways, but they need that mindset. Yeah, they do need the mindset, but there is a fine line between confidence and cockiness, and I've said this many a time, and I've always had this instilled to me as a kid. There's a fine line between confidence and cockiness, and for me now, Aaron Ramsdale is pushing that line. We're saying it's coming home, not it's came home. Yeah, exactly. It's about the belief, isn't it? That is the thing. But yeah, there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness, and I've always believed that. I've always been told that, and I think Aaron Ramsdale is just pushing it a little bit. That being said, Erdegaard is going to be making way for Emile Smith-Rowe, former Huddersfield loanee, of course, where I am currently and where Aaron is. Sorry, Aaron, for exploiting you. That you are also a Huddersfield-based person, but there we are. Smith Rowe. If anyone, I will take full responsibility if you now get mugged when you're at the gym, or if a mob of fans come and get you, Aaron. I take full responsibility for telling people that you live in West Yorkshire. We are back underway here. I think Declan Rice has gone down there. Martinelli might be able to find Lacazette. Lacazette, couldn't quite get away from Sufal. Lacazette appealing for a foul. He's done a lot of it. He spent a lot of time, and the ref's given it as a pen now. What? That was the latest penalty decision, like ever. What? I thought that was a good tackle. I thought that was a really good tackle, and Sufal here might be in more trouble. And he's been sent off. He's been sent off. What? What? He definitely won the ball there. Let's watch this again. Martinelli rolls it into Saka. Sufal wins the ball. He takes the ball twice. Yes, okay. As he hits the ball, he hits him in the shin. Peter Walton's just said it's not a penalty, but the follow through has caught him. No, because his follow through also hit the ball. So if on that logic, then the follow through counteracts it. Surely. And because there's a red card in that, VAR need to make sure 100% that is correct. And I think Soufal is really hard done to there. Really hard done to there. I'm sure VAR will be checking, like I say, because if it's not a foul, then Soufal stays on the pitch. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anthony, what did he see in that? Soufal wins the ball first. Yes, his foot then taps the shin pad of Lacazette. Lacazette, being a big baby, rolls around on the floor. Hate that in football. Absolutely hate it with a passion. Is there no VAR check going on here? Well, Darren Fletcher's saying, if you're a West Ham fan, you're screaming at the television. No, if you have a sense of football and actually have a brain, you're screaming at the television, because that's not a penalty. There is no way in God's green earth that this is a penalty. And now Lacazette has an opportunity here to make it 2-0 to Arsenal. Lacazette against Fabianski. Good save, Fabianski! Get in! I don't know why I celebrated that so much, but Arsenal did not deserve that. Justice has somewhat been served there by Fabianski. Great save. Great save from that penalty. Lucas Fabianski. Good man. Good man. That's what you get Lacazette for diving around like a big baby. Honestly. The absolute shambles of that penalty decision. I'm so glad that Fabianski saved that. I am so glad. Arsenal did not deserve that one bit. One bit. Oh, God. They better not replay it. And they said check complete on that. He had 1 foot off the line there. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Let's have a look. Let me update the banner for you. I've been off the screen updating the banners for a little bit, so I need to check through the comments of what happened during that penalty. Cannot believe that. Cannot believe Soufal has been sent off for that. Cannot believe it. Awful stuff. Awful stuff. I already get too many fans stopping me in the street. Lol. I know. I'm not watching international football until the corrupt World Cup is over. I don't care. I don't care. Yes, you know, there are problems around it, but you might as well watch it. It's going to go ahead anyway. I mean, what are we going to do individually? We're one person, aren't we? We are one person. Not every single week where decisions, are we still not questioning overly protected referees for match fixing yet? But the thing is, Aaron, it doesn't have to always be match fixing. Like, this is what really wound me up as well about the Champions League draw the other day. Clearly, there was just an error with Manchester United's thing. Clearly, there was just an error. But not everything has to be corrupt. Not everything has to be match fixing. It's sometimes mistakes happen. They happen all the time. And it's not because people are corrupt or they're match fixing. It's because mistakes happen. And that, obviously, you know, you can make an argument for it. But my argument is, like, let's be honest, not everyone on this goddamn planet is corrupt. Not everything's a conspiracy. The Premier League and the officials are not even hiding match fixing at this point. Seriously, everyone needs to wake up and start talking about it. But I don't think it is match fixing. I don't think it is. I think it's a poor mistake from the referee there. And the thing is, when Peter Walton says it, you're like, yes, all right. But I don't know what VAR saw there. And Ramsdale's just been booked as well. And this is what I mean. Fine line between arrogance and confidence. Every single week there is a decision. Every single week, even checked by VAR. I know, but that's the thing. When there's always going to be problems, Aaron, when there is a spectrum of which decisions can be subjective. If it's not, this is a penalty, this isn't, then it's always going to come across as that, because people have different opinions. Like, Arsenal fans will go, well, yeah, of course it's a penalty because he's kicked him in the boot. He's kicked him in the shin, sorry, He's got a slight bit of contact on the ball, and it all depends on which truth you are looking at. That is what it is. And you talk about, what is the correct way, what is the truth, what actually happened. And depending on whose perspective it is depends on whose truth it is. And that's a really good turn there from Michail Antonio trying to get away from Martinelli. There isn't even argument in almost every case. But the thing is, it is about interpretation. And as long as that is in the game, that is the problem. If you say any contact in the box, which results, I don't even know, you'd have to just say any contact in the box on the ball that, knocks a player to the floor, but then you'll get loads of divers. But then, of course, if that is the case, then, you can just use VAR and be like, well, that's a dive. The truth is not the truth. The truth is truth, not perspective. No, it's perspective. It is perspective because it depends on how you see things. It really does, because you can look at something and be like, that is green, but your green might be their purple. So it is perspective. There is always a matter of perspective. Some people might miss slight little things when they look at it. Like Anthony Taylor there might have seen something that I didn't. So, oh my gosh, Tomiyasu there nearly puts the ball into his own net there. I'm not saying it isn't, and I'm not saying there aren't poor decisions, Aaron. I just think that not everything has to be match fixing or corrupt. Not everything has to be. It is the fact that it is up to decision making. Like I saw the one against Rudiger. I can see why that's been given as a penalty, but I can also see why it isn't. And lots of Leeds United fans are saying, "Oh, they're corrupt. Oh, what are we doing here? VAR is rubbish. You should have been interfering with this." But it's about perspective. If you look at it from the perspective of a referee who's seen a player go in from behind, in this Rudiger case, go in from behind, make contact with Rudiger, and Rudiger's hit the deck, it's always going to be a penalty and he's not won the ball. But in reality, the amount of times in Sunday League we see someone get a little bit of a tap to the thigh, it's all the time. And it is all about perspective and what you are used to and what everything is about. And it just is. It just is. Jude Bellingham disagrees. He definitely does. Vid idea 5 or more reasons why I hate VAR. I think I have a VAR video on my channel with like 500 views, actually, Fraser, if you've not already seen that one. It's one of my 2-minute Tuesdays. Tierney there looking to whip one in. Mazuaku gets in front of Emile Smith-Rowe. West Ham, though, they've looked okay since they've come out of this since that penalty, actually. I haven't looked worried for them. But Michail Antonio seems to have dropped out onto the right-hand side, maybe sort of playing without a recognised striker, more with a false nine or attacking midfielder. Saka's going to whip this one in at the front post. Wolves is finished. Did that finish 1-0? I don't have any of my scores up at the moment. Ball clipped forward here for Martinelli. Good touch from Martinelli. Good defensive play, though, by Michail Antonio. Oh, I've still got some left in my drink. Even better. The referees, the commentators are talking about whether the ref should have looked at the monitor, and I totally think it should be. Watford game was postponed due to COVID, but again, this is another one that's, oh my gosh, Gabriel on the volley there. I thought I was going to get some fantasy points there, just wide of the goal. Again, this is another thing about perspective, because they've called it as COVID related, but as my friend Dan rightly pointed, that Watford have 8 players or something like that. I think it was 8, maybe 6 players out injured at the moment, and it's just convenient, isn't it, that, 8 players are injured and all of a sudden, oh yeah, there's been a COVID outbreak when we're against the team that might be getting relegated as well with us. Very convenient, but it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. And Ben Rama has come on for Manuel Lanzini. So Lanzini's day is done. I think that's probably the correct decision to take off Lanzini now, because more thinking of, hang on, I'm trying to balance my mic whilst I type Ben Rama's name. There we go. No, you spelled Ben Rama. Can someone spell Ben Rama in the chat for me, please? I would greatly appreciate it. Ben Rama. Ben Rama. What? I honestly swear sometimes I'm dyslexic. Ooh. 76 minutes on the clock. Looks easy now for Arsenal, but yeah, Mikel Antonio's come into this almost like a right wing back role. He looks like he's actually covering for Kufal. Oh, it is spelled like that. I am just stupid. Yeah, he's actually covering for Kufal at right back. So anyone who's got Mikel Antonio in your team, I don't think you're going to be getting any fantasy points tonight because Mikel Antonio has dropped into his into right back where we more formally saw him as a youth or a younger player, thanks to the sending off of Kufal at right back. So let's just remove Kufal off the team sheet. There we are. Gabriel tries to play one back there to Ramsdale. Ramsdale's nearly messed that one up there. I don't know quite how that didn't fall to Jared Bowen there, and it just evaded Jared Bowen and fell to the feet of Tierney, and Arsenal get away with another dodgy back pass. I think, if they actually had 11 players on the field, I think they would have been in a good position to press the ball there and win that back high up the field. Let me add the new overlay for us. Here's Tomiyasu picking up the ball in a bit of room. West Ham, they do just look a little bit tired now, and I can't blame them. They've put in a shift, but defensively, attacking-wise, they haven't really created anything. Tierney rolls it into Martinelli. Martinelli's going to pull it back. Saka! Oh, good block there. Who was that who got a block in? A tremendous block there by, was it Diop on the line? Let's watch this again. Pull back to Saka. Diop just gets himself in the way. Maybe Fabianski gets to it, but he's just put it behind for a corner. Taking no risk there. Issa Diop. Brilliant defending on the line. Just keeping his team in it. Whipped in, cleared off the line. It's unfair to cause Leicester because Leicester doesn't get COVID postponed and Watford and Burnley do. I mean, but if Leicester haven't had an outbreak, then that's different. But I don't know. You'd have to tell me that. You'd have to tell me that. Commentators reiterating there what I've been saying, lacking something up front here, and they're not going to have anything for the rest of the game either because Mikel Antonio, like I say, is playing at right back now. So it's going to be hard for him to score. I tell you what, it is going to be hard for him to score from right back. He's more than capable of doing so, but it's definitely going to be hard for him to score. Of course, tomorrow night is Liverpool versus Newcastle as well. I'm sure Aaron will be keeping more than a keen eye on that, and Leicester, Tottenham, and Chelsea, Everton. I won't be doing any streams tomorrow night, though, I don't think. I'd be very surprised if I did. Partey flicks it into Emile Smith-Rowe, who finds Xhaka. Xhaka's going to switch one in. Nice ball from Xhaka there to find Saka in plenty of space. Martinelli's gone down injured, and waving to have the play put out. I think if players don't have massive injuries, you shouldn't put the play out. That's just my personal opinion. Especially when he's gone down like holding his calf. And like Stephen McManaman just said, roll him off and carry on. Roll him off and carry on. That is my opinion on that. It's just, I find it so frustrating. He's literally got cramp, and then Arteta pushes him back on the field as well to then sit down and have cramp. And I understand why he does it, but it's so stupid. I hate that so much about football. Hate it. Yeah, nothing better than making a point and commentators say it a few minutes later. Yeah, I know. It makes you sound like a genius, doesn't it? Especially when you do it in a group of people and be like, oh, he's playing well. And then they'll be like, what a game Kante has had today. And you're like, yeah, spotted that one from a mile off. Might be a view from the stands raid. Oh, nice. That'd be fantastic for the final 10 minutes. Just realised my stream was 5 minutes behind, lol. Where did that come from? How have you only just realised it was 5 minutes behind? Did you not wonder when I wasn't interacting with you for 5 minutes? Did you not wonder? Like, what? Justice, says Max. Exactly. Justice. Exactly. Ramsdale's going to switch one here, looking for Tierney. Tierney, good touch there. And into David. Who's just come on? Who have I just seen come on? I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. I don't even know who just came on there. I'm going to have to wait until I see him up close and personal. Ben Rama trying to get away from Party. Party's going to give away a foul here. The referee tries to play advantage for as long as possible there. And didn't manage to succeed in giving that. I can't remember what is it Sambi? Is that an Arsenal player's name? Is that an Arsenal player's name who's just come on for Martinelli? What happened at the Emirates? As in generally what happened at the Emirates? Or as in the big drama? Big drama. The rule where the refs have to stop the game has been in place for multiple years now. The players should be used to it by now. Yeah, but they don't have to stop the play if the player is on the pitch. It's only if there's a head injury. That is the only time when there's a head injury that they have to stop it on the pitch. If I go down holding my ankle, unless I'm absolutely rolling around in pain and screaming, then they don't have to stop it. And even then, it'd be out of the kindness of their own hearts to stop it. Ramsdale's going to look long here. Just thought you were commentating. That's why you never interacted. God, Shah. You are an idiot sometimes, Shah. Oh, God. Oh, God. David Moyes is going to make another sub. One more final opportunity. Pablo Fornals is the man coming off. And who is it coming on? It looks like a fresh face, maybe a youngster coming on for, it's Ashby, number 50, coming on for Pablo Fornals. So, I was going to say Everton. Aston Villa there has made 3. Aston Villa? West Ham? What? West Ham have made 3 subs there. And that looks like it's going to be allowing Michail Antonio to go back up front as Ashby's going to slot in at that right back role. So it's all getting a little bit confusing in terms of team sheet. So I'm not going to update the team sheet any longer. Gabriel's going to hoof that one clear there. Share me and you in the dumb section. Exactly. Rice trying to wriggle out there. Has to roll it back to Fabianski. Fabianski goes back to Rice. What are West Ham going to do here? Sam having a meh Villa. Exactly. Party hoofs one over himself. Can Emil Smith-Rowe get a good touch on that? No, giving it to Diop, who finds Masuaku into Rice, into Souček, into Masuaku. Lovely little triangle there. Masuaku looks long for Antonio. Good touch from Michail Antonio. Really good touch. Oh, good defending, though, by Gabriel. He had to spoil the party there. That could have been a really nice, no pun intended on that one. Could have been really, really nice there. The ref should see the head injuries and be responsible for stopping play. They are only in contact with 2 assistants and a 4th official. Players will just get on with it until the whistle goes. Exactly. It is only for that. That's why I hate it when players go down with cramp and then get back on the pitch so that they have to stop the play. They don't have to stop the play whatsoever. It's just the other players are like, oh yeah, kick it out. Just can't be arsed with it. Can't be arsed with it, man. Here's Ashby on the right-hand side. Evening, Josh. How are we doing? Here goes Ben Rama, drops his shoulder, lovely drop of the shoulder, rolls it into Souček. Souček, oof, good defending there by, I believe that was Ben White getting out there. Or was it Xhaka? I think it was Xhaka, actually, now that I've said that. It was Xhaka getting himself out there. Wrong chat, oops, yeah, wrong account. I did wonder, Josh. How did Rangers get on? I didn't actually manage to catch much of it. I had you stream on whilst I was streaming, so it's been on my phone, but my phone's died now. So, I didn't actually get to catch much of it. Josh, wrong account. Nice, yeah. Nice. That was rubbish. 2-0 to Rangers. Can't complain there. That was my score prediction for this game. Arsenal still might be in with an opportunity here as Saka plays it into Emil Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe drives inside. Smith-Rowe! There it is! Emil Smith-Rowe with a lovely goal into the bottom right-hand corner. Beats Fabianski. Fabianski stands still. Not a lot he can do. And Arsenal celebrate a comfortable win, and that is Emile Smith-Rowe on the score sheet yet again. What a season that young man is having at the moment. What a season. What a season he is having. And that was really down to that red card, wasn't it, for Soufal, that there was so much space defensively for Arsenal to break through in terms of West Ham. And, you know, it was too easy. As soon as they lost the ball there, it was 4-1-3. And with the pace of Saka, Smith-Rowe and Lacazette, and then Nketiah, I believe it was, who was also on, it was always going to be a problem. And Issa Diop doesn't get close enough, goes through the legs of Issa Diop. So Fabianski unsighted. A lovely finish there from Emile Smith-Rowe. And deserved 2-0 win, but I still don't think it was a red card. And I think that has been what has actually come to bite West Ham on the backside. And I do think the VAR did get that decision wrong. Mikel Arteta, though, he won't care. He won't care about the decision, not one bit. But ultimately, it has shaped the way that this afternoon or this evening has gone in terms of the final 20, 30 minutes here. It really has shaped it. And West Ham can't do a lot when it feels like the whole world is against you. West Ham, a very valiant effort. And not long left now, 2 and a bit minutes left of football for West Ham to endure. Perfect time in that, Sam. I know. I thought I could just sense it. You know, when you've got your spidey senses, I could just sense it. Well, how couldn't Liverpool and Chelsea win versus West Ham? Honestly, I don't know. Chelsea were rubbish, though, against West Ham. Mikel Antonio into Ben Rama. West Ham might not be done here. Rolls it into Souček. Souček taking too long to shoot there. And actually, Partey's apparently been deemed to have given away a foul there on the edge of the box. So maybe an opportunity here. If they score now, that could make it really interesting for West Ham United. Definitely was a foul looking at that on second review. Souček just about to shoot and Partey just gets in the way. These nuts got him. Ian, good night, mate. Have a good one. Have a good one, mate. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Spidey Sam tingle, exactly. My Peter tingle was going there. I just knew it. Let's see who's over this free kick. Declan Rice is fancying his chances. Ben Rama and Jared Bowen for the left foot option as well. This could definitely make the final few minutes a little bit more spicy. Josh says, you doing any games tomorrow, Sam? I'm not sure at the moment. I'm planning on packing because I want to... Ben Rama's going to take this straight into the wall, though. False to Ben Rama again. Ben Rama into Ashby, and they've had to come all the way back there, West Ham. Sam, ain't you family friendly? Yeah, I am. Why? What did I say which wasn't? I don't remember now. Yeah, I'm supposed to be going to, because we're all working from home now, and obviously as a videographer, I can't really work from home as easily. So I'm going to be working from home rather than not being sat in a what's the word I'm looking for, flat, a studio flat. So I'm gonna look to work from home, and then I can do my work from home there. It's a little bit more difficult for me anyway, but it does just allow me to have at least a garden to go into whilst I'm supposed to be working from home and stuff like that. And as I'm not needed in Leeds, I can, do all of my editing and stuff like that online. So I'm going to be packing tomorrow in the hope that I can go back on Friday and go and see one of my mates who's doing a DJ set as well. So I'm not going to be doing any tomorrow, even though it is Chelsea versus Everton. Can sit down, watch Chelsea, and have a look at them as well. Switch there from Lacazette. Finds Tavares, who has come on as well. Rolls it into Xhaka, into Tierney. The tempo has just dipped out of this game over the last minute or so. Partey, is he going to look to shoot there? He was shaping as if he was going to shoot. Smith-Rowe, Tomiyasu, Partey. Partey's going to switch it there, looking for Tierney. Tierney into Tavares, back into Tierney. This is going to be a tedious final few minutes, ladies and gents. It is going to be a final tedious few minutes. And unfortunately, the VAR decision has taken any sting that West Ham United were going to have up front in this game and just absolutely wiped it out. Absolutely wiped it out. Sam, out of the Arsenal squad, who would you put as Arsenal captain? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, look at that team. Who would you put? I wouldn't put any of them. I really don't know. You can't put Ramsdale. Lacazette's probably the only natural option, but I think he's a bit of a hothead as well. Xhaka's going to shoot from range. Absolutely skies it there, Granit Xhaka. We've seen better from Granit Xhaka over his career for Arsenal. Yeah, I really don't know. Just give it to one of the young lads. Why not? Like the West Ham have done and given it to Declan Rice. They've given Saka as man of the match tonight. Quite surprised at that, if I'm honest with you. You'll put Max. Who is Max? As in our Max? As in Max Gamer? What? Martinelli's 20. That's how old he is. That's how he is. Yeah, our Max Gamer. Yeah, give it to Max. I'm sure he'd make a great Arsenal captain as a Spurs fan. Scoreboard needs changing. Oh, yeah. I'll leave it now. I can't be bothered now. We're at the end anyway. I think I did update it, didn't I? Maybe I just clicked on the wrong banner. Hang on. Yeah, I did. There you are. I literally sorted it. I just forgot to do it. But thanks, Fraser. Nketiah looking to get a shot off there. Rolls it into Emile Smith-Rowe. I nearly said Ødegaard again. I keep getting them two muddled up. I did that last time. James Reed is saying Middlesbrough versus Bournemouth stream. I mean, I don't really know much about Championship football. I don't really pay attention, unfortunately, James. So apologies, because I wouldn't be the greatest of insight if that's what you needed. Hello, Zero LDN. Thank you for stopping by. Let us know your thoughts on today's game. That's a lovely ball through there to find Saka. Saka, can he find Smith-Rowe, the goal scorer for the second goal? I've realised I've not updated the bottom scoreboard either. Nketiah, can he get himself a little bit of room here? Nearly full time. We've got 15 seconds left of extra time here. Because my timer on here is just slightly fast. I think it'll be full time after this. There we are. It is full time. It is full time at the Emirates Stadium. And Arsenal have really, to be honest with you, I think they've got lucky. I think they've got really lucky with that decision to get a penalty there. And of course, the sending off, it was double jeopardy, wasn't it? It really was double jeopardy. Yes, it might be a yellow card, but honestly, I don't think that is a penalty. I'm intrigued to see if anyone, before I knock over my green screen, if anyone thinks differently to that, because it's really, I think it's a poor decision from the referee there. And West Ham players are talking to the ref here, and they're talking to him, and they'll be wanting answers. Like, how can a player who's won the ball not only once, but then also won it with his follow-through, give away a foul? He's won it. The first contact he's made is with the ball. Yes, his foot hits his shin pad, but that's just how tackles happen. That is how tackles happen. And unfortunately, it's absolutely ruined the game. 3 subs away from 400 now. Brilliant. Thank you. And a decent game. Don't think Arsenal deserved it, though. Don't think they deserved that penalty, though, even though they missed. No, I celebrated that, and I'm a Chelsea fan, and I celebrated that penalty miss like it was we just won the World Cup. And I think West Ham are going to be fuming about that. Of course, in the end, the actual penalty itself didn't cause any problems, but the sending off is what has dictated this final however long of the game. It has been what has really caused the problem. And you watch it and you watch it again, and I just cannot see the decision that's been made. You can, like Aaron said earlier, you can talk about it being corrupt, or you can talk about it being match fixing. But the problem is, it's a matter of perspective. And looking at that, actually, Arsenal have just leapfrogged West Ham to go into the top four for the first time. So mental. And officiating in this country is crap, says Josh. I know, but the problem is with, like I said earlier, whenever there is an opinion, whenever it's subjective and not objective, and the letter of the law isn't laid out in front of you, there's always going to be problems. Flitzy Foot as well has joined on the Twitch chat. Evening to you. Let me know what you've thought to the game this evening. We're just having a little bit of a debrief before we do finish off for tonight. And have we got any other comments? Just imagine Sam looks over his green screen and Sigurdsson's behind him. Why Sigurdsson? What's wrong with Gylfi Sigurdsson? We don't know he's done anything wrong, do we? Not at the moment, anyway. And just behind Martin Keown, there's a load of fans in this stadium just like looking through at the BT Sport window, knocking on the window. That must be so annoying and so distracting. Admittedly, it'd be a lot creepier if someone knocked on my window, because considering I'm on the top floor of a flat place. Anyway, I mean, what else can we talk about? Arsenal, they looked fine, really, didn't they, in terms of without Aubameyang, without having their captain or their captaincy being taken off them, in a little bit of turmoil at the moment. Arsenal don't look awful. I mean, we've seen them concede some hefty defeats this season, but definitely have turned around. Yes. I can talk about him, just not in the context which you guys want to talk about him in. Because technically, he's not actually been charged with anything. So if you were to legally say him and link him to whatever you guys want to link him to, which I don't know what you want to link him to, then you cannot link him to it, because otherwise it's defamation if it comes out that actually he hasn't done it. Then it comes out as defamation and you can be sued for it. And especially like if I'm saying something on here and then in a few years' time, someone goes, oh, look what Sam said. And obviously with me being a journalist, that is the problem with saying that person's name in the context. That is the problem. That is the problem. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now that I've given you a schooling on what defamation is. Hopefully no one defames me and has any problems with me. Anyway, speaking of, defaming, maybe I should not speak so negatively of West Ham tonight. Admittedly, they weren't great up front. They didn't look like they were going to score any real time soon. They weren't really going to score anytime soon, were they? West Ham United. Arsenal looked like they're more likely to penetrate the back line, and that is what has happened. Questionable choice of wording I used there, considering the topic of conversation that is going on in the chat. However, I'm going to leave it there. They're getting into the post-match previews. I'm sure that will have made Shah laugh. Anyway, I will leave it there. I'm going to see you again at the weekend. We'll probably do a stream on Saturday. Probably not going to get a chance to do another one before then. Simply because I'm busy and there's other stuff I need to do. And Sunday is my dad's birthday as well. So I won't be there for that. So thank you to everyone who has watched so far and who has subscribed to the channel as well. Like we said, I am now 3 away from 500. So if you are someone who is listening and has thought, actually, that guy, he seems all right. Yeah, I'll subscribe to him. That would be brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys there. Thank you for watching. And most importantly, guys, stay safe.